Sa nga date, mas pwede mo na ninyo masabay.
Wala pa to, wala pa.
Ganito?
Maghintay lang tayo. Maghintay ng mga... Lapit na yan.
Ito sa lubid sa lanto. Pasar lang ako po ko. Tapos, ikaw, ikaw lang naman schedule mo. Ikaw na ako sa Sinibi kay Buddy.
Tulog pa sila, tulog. Where I belong, where I belong. Malapit na yan, malapit na.
Talaga yun, COVID lang. May garments na ka lang.
7 points lang si kay nun, ano?
See?
Si kay Soto ba? Hindi kasi pinapasahan ng bola. Dapat mga 25 points siya ngayon. I belong to Virginia, to Virginia, I belong. Sino kaya itong naghihintay? Sino yan naghihintay dyan? All my troubles.
Tanawa pre, kung nais ni John, IC type B, ICB. ICB
Down the river.
That bureau. Basta i-search lang ano, bureau quarantine. Sa Google.
Maganda magpapakuna sa puwit, sa lubot ba?
Ah, sakit si Roy.
Sakit sa puwit.
Sakit. Pag anti-rabies na ko, sakit ako.
Ay, nakagat ka?
Oo.
Ilan ang turok sa puwit mo?
Dalawang turo ko. Oo. tanan lagi, tanan dre.
Sabi malaki daw na karayom.
Di man dyan ako, kanang, nanoray,
May ibang araw sa tiyan pa daw eh. Sus.
Tapos ang kinala, ang last ka ng, kung asa nagkagat ang
Yung,
aso.
kung saan ka kinagat.
Ako dire na. Pero dili man to kagat sir, kanang,
Ang iba naman, pag kinagat ka na ng kubra, maglulo ka lang. Tanggal daw ng lason.
Seconds, patay ka na. Malulo ka pa.
Pero ang ganyan pala daw, mga kubra na yan, mga ahas, dapat hindi lang isang itali mo. Dalawa. Itali mo.
Tali nga.
Sa kalibo, sa binti. Itali mo sa may kinagatan. Halimbawa, sa ano, tapos tali ka pa sa hita mo. Kasi kung may makalusot na ano, at least yung isa hindi ay ano maharang ng isang tali. Yan ang ano daw niya pag nakagat ka ng cobra. O kaya ahas na. 3 inches yata sa kagat, mula sa kagat 3 inches ang layo sa sugat. Tapos itali mo. Sino kaya itong naghihintay? Tagal naman ang laro. Some people think that they own it too. 23. And switch.
International vaccine, right? Ano yung iba na? Select service? International vaccine. Ano yun? Saan yung vaccine?
Asa na? Muna.
Ano pa liyo?
Hindi, COVID na. 1 and 3, ano sa COVID?
Ang yellow card?
May yellow card. Ang usa sa Robinson na, ang usa sa Bureau of Quarantine yun.
Kaya sa Robinson man eh.
Robinson na, like ko na ang sa isilbing ano, Manila yun, Manila min.
Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Yeah! Let somebody love you. Tagal mag-umpisa eh. Mag-edad lang yan si Kay Soto, mga 23. Nasa kalakasan na yan. Kaya alam, pansin ko, di ba may asawa na yan? Parang hihina na yun din yan eh. No?
Masawa na din?
May asawa na yun ah. 17 yata siya. Nakasawa. 16.
Bata ko yun, masawa na.
Malaking tao. Laki naman ang anak, yung anak niya. If you miss the train I'm on, the train I'm on. If you miss the train I'm on, the train I'm on. Abang-abang lang, malapit na, malapit na, malapit na. Malapit na, malapit na. If you miss the train I'm on, the train I'm on. If you miss the train I'm on, the train I'm on. Sabi daw, pag gabi, pag nawit, ano ka daw, nawit bed, may babae daw na iniisip ka na, iniyot ka.
Siguro.
Di mo yan alam? May nag-iisip ka daw babae, may iniisip ka ng babae na may nakakilala sa'yo na iniiyot ka. Kaya nawi-wet bed dreams ka. Wet dreams. Ganyan daw yan. If you miss
Bay, tanong ko na ba?
If you
Huwag mong lagay yung procedure lang eh. Hindi, bali, hindi mo yung procedure. Sa mali namin. Wala eh. Online booking? Oo.
lonely table just for one. Just for one is a lonely table. Ipapakard pa bang pulyo? Pinapakard pa yan?
Kasi yan, siguro ka? Asa to nga? Asa to?
Tagal mag-umpisa.
Asa na? Diya, sa guard na kita. Ay, balik lang eh. Balik lang eh. Bakit? Bakit ko na? Okay, para balik ako.
Just once, can we find a way to get back? Dito sa pitong gatang mayroong nag-uupan. May nag-anon sa pitong gatang. Pwede kong ang iyong sa tukman ng pagkakako sa
Yan na lang. Limit ka.
agim
Mayan na.
kagaya na tutulong.
Uy, may appointment.
Wala. Hello, pidos na na. Pidos na na, Dodong.
What the fuck? I'm submitting the document training certificate and therefore the following link. Appointment request new hire, no confirmation needed. Good day, we are pleased to inform you. Appointment request is confirmed as scheduled. To help us prepare it in time, please book your appointment at least 2 days prior schedule. Data point, the releasing of documents is scheduled to Libao box area. Ano may withdrawal, sir? Ano sabi?
Bakit withdrawal?
To help us prepare your request on time, please book your appointment at least 2 days prior the scheduled date of appointment. The releasing of documents is scheduled to the Libao. Makati area undergoing sec. We will reach out to you if we may proceed to return your Ako, i-return mo documents mo.
Kung
I-return, may balik ba? For withdrawal documents, we will send you to the submission date pick up once withdraw.
mag-withdraw?
Oo. Saan? Kung i-withdraw ni mo? Saan? Saan naman? Ano mo, mga tama ko eh.
Yes, umpisa na yan.
Saan eh? Sabot eh.
Babasahin ko nga.
Sir.
Kapit na mag-umpisa. Inform you that your appointment request is confirmed as scheduled. Ano bang request mo?
Wala mo request.
To help us to prepare your request on time, please book your appointment at least 2 days prior the scheduled date of appointment. The releasing of the document is scheduled to
Basi
hold.
kung ma-withdraw ka ba, muna pagpasabot niya bro.
Di ka man nag-request ng ano, di ba?
Wala man.
Nag-take text every morning. He will reach out to you if you may proceed to return your documents.
Na basi pasabot sa pag ano niya siguro kung mapa-withdraw ka.
Nag-request, di ka man nag-request ng appointment. Ayan, na-confirmation needed. No, may information lang yata to.
Kung ma-withdraw ka.
Ayan na. Oh, pang from Kabayan sa Naik, Cavite, si Mix Princess. Ayos.
Ito naman.
Manood na tayo.
Please confirm me.
Manood na tayo, guys.
We all know over in Perth, you almost get me. What in order to change
Schedule date ba po? Ano pagsabot? Ano na yung pagsabot? Ano na yun? Kumapaano ka?
Hindi, ito yung ano, parang
Kung ma-request
paano lang sa'yo, pa-inform.
Kung mag-withdraw ka.
Baka may nag
It's going to miss, unfortunately, for Toddy, a substantial part of the season.
Baka may nag-request.
Michael Fraser's
Wala,
building
wala
fitness
ako
after
Huwag ka mag-ano ha, kasi pag pinilap pa mo ito, nag-request ka na, ano ka, mag-withdraw ka.
all resting tonight. Kai Soto,
For withdrawal,
Daniel Johnson, and Todd Withers, but
confirmation
mentioned some players that we will see for the
withdrawal
first
siguro
time
na,
for Adelaide. 3 of them, in fact.
No
2 of them out
confirmation.
there to start with. Big Isaac Humphries in the middle. Mahave King, the next star,
Naman to, naglabo.
playing and starting tonight. Dusty
Ayan.
Hatters, very important from Little Rock, Arkansas. We'll see tonight as well. So we're underway for the first game.
Oh,
About a
ano
double
naman
header.
dyan?
Matt Hodgson, the latest of late signings for Perth, starting in the middle. Purchase fires away from outside to start with. It'll be a Perth ball. Starting lineups for both teams: Matt Hodgson, Luke Travis, Jack Purchase, Vic Law crossing over from the Brisbane Bullets. Fantastic to see Bryce Cotton back out there after his season-ending quad injury. 36ers, Isaac Humphries, Sunday deck. Harvey King, Cam Bairstow, pretty impressive in his first game for Adelaide a couple of days ago. And Mitch McCarron, their captain, as well.
Interesting to see how Bryce goes. Like you just said, coming off an injury, season, still got his legs.
Wala, hindi siya sa first 5.
Little fella needs his explosiveness. So we'll see how he comes out.
Kung mag-renewal ka sir. Kung ma-request ka sa ilang paano documents mo for renewal.
Information lang, ano lang sa yan. Perform.
Kung
Ay ano.
gusto mo, kung may mga papilis ka nga i-renew ba? Ngunit.
Oo, kung ano lang, parang reminders lang yan. Kulit. Nanonood tayo eh.
He needs his explosiveness. So we'll see how he comes out.
Ayun ang signal.
He needs his explosiveness.
Ito kasing internet ng may-ari na to ayaw labas eh.
Frazier, who's not playing
Armel
tonight.
Limbang!
So they
Si Armel Limbang nanonood.
Plenty of talent there. Now it's just a matter of can we mesh? Can we all get on the same page?
Si Armel Limbang, salamat
It's
sa
off the
panood.
inbound, trying to bank it home. Floor as well. Hannah's had it come off his foot.
Yeah, it's been a while. There's a few minutes he's been out here. Yeah, you wonder if they, enforce minutes restrictions. What are you doing? Is it too early for load minutes?
Hindi siya naging
I don't
first
think
five
Law's
eh.
gonna play. He's played his whole first quarter out. One shot. They ran that for that one time. Like we seen the other day. Some guy forced him to play the last quarter.
Yeah. Every team seems to have a different strategy for how they want to go about it. A lot of that would be pre-planned, you'd imagine. Some things will never change. One of those is Jesse Wagstaff nailing one from the top of the key.
Jesse's a wily veteran now.
Back to three again. Hannah's blocked by Travis. Got him over the back. Wildcats want to get moving. Wagstaff. Takes contact. Big ball. That'll send him to the free throw line.
First free throw of the game. It's pretty clean.
Where he's very comfortable as a free throw shooter. Dusty Hannes went to Texas Tech for a couple of years at college. Holds the all-time free throw record at that school. Great. Shot from the stripe at 92.9%.
It's one thing being a great free throw shooter. Then you got to be great at the key.
Tingin ko ito sa...
He's got to work out the referees. What can he get away with? What can he call it?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff will come with time.
Hindi siguro
Here
set.
he is in transition.
Hindi,
Blows past Travis. Didn't get the shot away in time.
Wala sa signal.
After
Sa
one,
signal.
it's Adelaide who leads 17 to 12. They win the quarter and take a point. The Bruton Loggins come. What do you make of the opening stanza?
I like Adelaide's energy. I mean, obviously it's their second game, Perth's first game, so they got a chance to run the cobwebs out a couple days ago. You know, they got some good players in. You can just tell that, they've already been there. Whereas Perth, who knows how they feel. Right? First game in, fantastic. Coaches knew, just got the town, just got out of the quarantine, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to take them a little while. So far, so good. I mean, they didn't do anything that you would think that's ugly. But I just think Adelaide just might be a little far more advanced so far.
And they played one game already, whereas this is Perth's first game at the Blitz. Adelaide have got three more to come after this. Do you as a coach, as we take a look at some of the shooting stats from the opening quarter, as a coach, David, do you want to start to build? So do you want more out of the second game of the first game, and then more from the third game than what you saw in the second game?
Absolutely. Each game, you got to show improvement. They had to went back and look at the tape. CJ he might have got a couple hours sleep. He watched the tape, and so he knew at least because everybody knows you're not going to be playing the best of basketball, nor do you even want to. So they'll identify a couple key areas. Let's be better in these spots. Have to judge it off of that.
Leading scorers, Dusty Hannah's in limited minutes. In fact, only 4 minutes, has 7 points. 4 points for Majorkin. His return to the NBL competition after injury last year.
Every team I think should have more.
Presence.
Energy guard, defensive presence.
Interesting stat at the opening quarter of the standout. Adelaide just the 1 3-point attempt with their 1 of 1. Perth 2 of 12. Stark contrast.
The next one's going in big doubt.
Tad Duffelmeyer starting the second quarter. Thought he was fantastic on Sunday. 14 points. Hannah's misses with the floater. Clark, Hodgson, Purchase, Law, Zudik on the floor for the Wildcats. Hodgson, nice pass for Purchase. It takes care of the rest.
How many times we see that happen? The ball goes inside, defense off the ball, stares at the man.
McCarron out for Duffelmeyer. He's off target. So Humphreys, Hannahs, McCarron, Duffelmeyer and Malou out there for Adelaide to start the second. They've got numbers ahead, although Clark saw the pass from Duffelmeyer coming. Now Purchase up the floor for Hodgson. On that time.
That's where you want to finish. He knows that. That's what happens sometimes. Your touch isn't quite there in preseason, but long arms are backing most times to finish that.
Contested rebound for Matt Hodgson. On the low block. Clark baseline running out of time. One end to the other, McCarron sees only Purchase ahead. Takes it at him, no foul, tipped in by Duffelmeyer.
Mitch just plays it nice at his pace. He's not going to speed him up if he doesn't want to. He's just going to kind of control the tempo, kind of pick his spots. Like we thought he was quiet a couple days ago, but that's his style. Nothing too breakneck speed, just totally composed.
Both teams have been happy to rotate the minutes and have gone to their benches. All 20 players who are suiting up tonight have played so far.
Coach got to give everybody give a little taste because the benches get a whole lot shorter when the real season starts. You just see the influence too, like what Adelaide's running. Like when CJ played, he got energy. Run these turnouts, he coming off and chasing this guy who would go under the screen, stop him, bring the trail. Next thing you know, he's in the paint, shooting these floaters. So you wonder, like, how much does a coach's style of play, if he was a player, how much does he bring that to the team? You know anything about Scott Morrison's play?
Not a lot
A little bit though, right?
about his playing career. I'm guessing he was a guard. Back to you on that. So he throws it away. Sloppy both teams to start this second quarter.
This guy's going with Vic Law again for the same quarter. He played the whole 10 in the first quarter. Maybe He's going to run you into it. No point messing around. The rest of them are going to slip.
Ayaw yata. Baka ilagay sa dulo.
Captain
Ay, sa huli.
of the NBL 22 season, Mitch McCarron. To full
Last
line.
seconds.
Humphries left all alone. Big man does have a nice stroke.
Well, John Calipari would have had him doing that when he was in Kentucky, but he's developed that kind of shot, especially in today's, with all the pick and rolls and all the bigs popping out with the slate. I still like it. But Humphries can, if he can make that little 12, 15-foot shot, that just makes everything right.
That pass was telegraphed. Hannes was awake to it. And takes it to the other end and scores.
Sloppy pass on that one. I think he might be getting a little bit fatigued. Second son is coming his way down.
Ayaw pa ipasok si Kay eh.
Ayan.
Siyempre, expose si Kay dyan, lalo pag dumana yung score niya. Kulilat sila.
For any Perth team. McCarron. Nice pass for
Natambak
Malou.
yung pangalan nila.
They had time out there. Although
Tabunan.
first fatigued. Like, first game we did, but not to visit the excuse. You got to stop the run. I think it's good about ourselves right now.
25-14. The Wildcats had only scored 2 points since quarter time.
Time out.
And for a team, the Astrid, last season, they had the lowest amount of turnovers per game at 10 a game. They've had 4, I guess you could call it 5 to start this second quarter.
Yeah, definitely not what they want to be doing this early. Like we said the other day, the coach has to know it's just going to be sloppy. Just you're never going to feel comfortable looking at it. You just got to accept it. It's going to be sloppy early. There's no you guys can tighten that focus up as the season goes on.
So for Wildcats fans, after tonight, next time you'll see your team is on Friday against the Brisbane Bullets, playing in Ulverston. And on Sunday against the Cairns Taipans. Wednesday against the Jack Jumpers in Ulverston, and they finish off on Friday, November 26, once again, up against the Adelaide 36ers. So a bunch of games in a short space of time.
Guys would rather play than practice, I'll tell you that. That's not going to change.
They've surely had enough of practice by now. See, Kai SOTTO, all 7'2" of him at the end of the Adelaide bench, not playing tonight. Daniel Johnson not out there too. Just yet to see Todd Withers take his place for the 36ers.
Captain Johnson fighting past his elbow most of the night.
Yung unang laro niya, 7 points pa lang, pasok agad siya sa 100 ano ng NBA analyst.
20 plus field goals in the first game.
7 points pa lang, pasok sa 100 analyst. Hindi, mamaya papalaro niyan. Ayaw nila maano sila eh.
Cotton surveying the floor.
Talo sila sa sikat ni Kai.
Purchase travels. In fact, he's put on the line.
That's it. People turn down shots, make the pass, a guy penetrates, kicks it out. If you don't shoot it, defense re-penetrate. Sometimes
Baka iniipon sa huling quarter.
Somebody got to take that shot. Somebody got to happen.
36ers by 9. Bairstow spins on Majuk. That's a lovely finish.
Nice lob, Jack. Mark middle. Half of a Hakeem shake.
11 points and 8 rebounds in his debut for the 36ers, Cam Bairstow. Very late
Isipin mo yun,
signing
7 points lang, pasok ka agad sa 100 analyst.
His pedigree is as good as just about any.
Ano kung mag 20 points pa yan, hindi nakuha na kagad.
Lays it up under pressure. Nice finish. A 3-time MVP. Much needed bucket for Perth. See the shooting stats.
Nagalit na si Baki de Rio.
Yeah, worry about the score. They're always worried about the score. When you're playing 5 quarters, still the number score. They go down 11.
Na-expose kasi kaagad eh.
Travis
7
comes
points
back in.
lang, pasok kaagad sa 100 analyst player. Si Kai ba? Hindi pinapalaro. 7 points pa lang yung nakuha, di ba niya dati?
Last year.
Eh, siya kagad ang napansin ng karamihan ng NBA. Eh sila, siyempre, matabunan sila.
Figure it out. But I would like to see
Yeah,
the
apply mo
terms
lang
of
sa
the
NBA.
game.
Ha?
You break one
Apply din yung mga yan. Yung mga player na yan. Yan, diyan humuhugot ang NBA.
work out together as well.
Kaya, pag si Kay ang palaging pinapaano dyan, si Kay mahugot. Hindi sila.
At some point they'll have Mitch Norton to come back into this team, and sooner rather than later, potentially, at some point during the blitz, we'll see Michael Fraser, who is a scorer.
They'll have weapons everywhere. That's the thing. You have too many weapons. I don't know. I mean, as long as it's not like this.
Daming analyst kagad naka-pansin sa kanya eh.
Let each other play to their strengths. So,
Ba, nag-apply na ng NBA,
it's
wala
going
ka
to take
tawag.
time to see how it all gels.
Umulis kasi, yung sa Gilas, naglaro siya sa Gilas kasi ito.
Hindi, nag-apply na siya sa NBA, wala siya nakuha siya.
Hindi siya nagpa-drop. Hindi siya nakalaro noon.
Hindi siya kinuha.
Goes one on
Hindi.
two.
Hindi siya nakalaro sa ano.
So
Ano ba yun?
5 minutes before
Ano nila?
halftime,
TF, ano?
Tasmania up next against
TFC ba yun?
Cairns. Sellout crowd really building at My State Bank Arena. Cairn Bairstow getting to work.
Sa Gilas. So, kaya hindi siya nakuha kasi hindi man siya talaga nakapaglaro ng games nila.
That's most of the action these days. You don't have a traditional post player. Just dump the ball into the post most of the times. Most of these things are gonna be dribble handoff guys and guys that just
Maglalaro yan.
picks, but you can put the ball on the floor as a big these days. It's like Bearstow just did. Become that extra threat.
Reserve lang yan pang malakasan.
Jordan takes his position down low. Foul on Sunday down. Kevin White was almost the hero of the semi-final series and the final series that they didn't know they were going to get. Across the season, only averaged 3 points a game. In the playoffs, double that. During the playoffs,
Alam
went
nila
12 to 20
madaming naghihintay
from
kay
outside.
Soto eh.
Played his heart out.
Ano?
He was banged up. He was running on the field. He's an awesome effort. So they can all stay healthy at the right time. That's another big piece of luck.
Ingat
Have a
kasi.
great regular season.
Saka ano siya sa ano eh, yung
All guys.
page niya, eh, ano, yung tawag niya? Yung
But it's just feet set. That's what he's out there to do.
kasikatan ba?
6'8" shooting guard, small forward, whatever he calls himself. He's definitely a great point threat.
Marshall couldn't tip it in. He's out of play. First ball.
So he's up with the tempo of defense, realizing the front legs might be a little bit wobbly.
Double comes for Wagstaff. There's Travis. Flashing to the basket and flying high.
There's our first dunk of the game. Mojave King got caught ball watching. Man cuts right down the middle.
And Wagstaff picks off the pass. Officials might take a look at this, have a chat about it.
Oh, stream yan. Game 2 yan.
Here's that last action from Luke Travis.
You gotta think too. When the ball goes into the post, how many post buckets?
Game 2 yan. Game 2.
So if you're on a perimeter, you're playing defense. I'm thinking, I don't think you're gonna score that. I'm gonna make you have to make that shot. I'm gonna lose sight of my man, especially an athlete like Travis.
Game 2 yan.
I'm talking about Bryson Cox.
How tall are you?
A lot of intel on this.
I've got him listed, as he bombs away, I've got him listed as 6 foot.
Yeah, I was 6 foot.
I'm going to say though, this is the first time I've seen Bryce with hair for a while. Maybe he's 6 foot with the hair.
That helps. He jumps like he's 6'5", so
Sure
I
does.
guess it don't matter.
Marshall, nice pass underneath for Isaac Humphries.
An extra pass, ball movement, attack the closeout, give up penetration. You're running guys off the three-point line like they're Steph Curry. Sometimes you can just see if a guy can make a shot instead of giving up penetration, which leads to a dunk.
Big block there from Humphries, and now Mojave King
Signal mo niyan, sir?
can't make it count, but there's Humphries and the tip in for Dufelmeyer.
Ikot mo lang, sir.
Sige na, pwede lang.
Fella running the floor and getting it done at both ends.
Thank you.
Isaac Humphries, well, the points weren't his. He blocks another shot, but picks up the foul on the way through.
Adelaide shoots 16%. 16.
Dear.
So, fellas, calm down. Let's just not overreact. Just because the guy's on the three-point line, he might shoot. There's a good chance, there's an 84% chance he's going to miss it.
Last season, they had their struggles at times, the 36ers. That was one thing they could do last year, was shoot the three ball. They were third in the competition in that stat.
Sabi mo, 7 points, pinag-usapan agad ng Australia. Imbis yung
He
mga
had to say, everybody,
ka-Australiano eh.
you take the first three, and you miss it. The average guy, you're going to want to miss 2 in a row. So he's going to probably try to put the ball on the floor. But if he makes that first one, then you obviously expect.
Humphries rolling to the basket. Nice hands from Law. Saw it coming. Wagstaff in good position down low. Has the height advantage over Hannes. Hannes' hands were too fast. Pass from Marshall for Dufelmeyer, who's having an impact again.
This is what
Nasa
happens.
bench.
He's got the ball down on the block. He thinks he got the mismatch, but as soon as you dribble the ball one time, the piranha are coming. End up forcing into a turnover. Got to make a quick decision out of the post.
Nasa bench kay.
As Travis finishes off with the left. He looks like he's a little sore. Foul on the floor from Kevin White.
That was the foul. That was the purpose foul to come out of the game. Trying to make a sub to the hit for the team. Something I couldn't see myself ever doing. Why would I want to come out of the game?
Not sure there's too many that would do that. Probably says enough about Kevin White, doesn't it?
Guys tugging on their shirts, asking for a sub. Like, yeah.
Malakas din ang Australia mag-discriminate, lalo sa mga Asia. Isus, number 1 kaya ang
I
Australia.
think either disrespected him or he's just
Para din lang yung mga
too tired to make a
European.
call, but he got caught in no man's land there. Jesse made it right.
7 points. 2 of 2 from the field for the Wildcats captain. Humphries threw a hot one for Dufelmeyer. The shot clock ticking down. And half-time.
Half-time.
It's the 36ers who retain their lead, 36 to 28.
36
Pretty
to
low scoring
28.
second quarter.
Yeah, we're not going to see the offensive brilliance this early in the season, but still just looking for signs, looking for
Half-time, half-time.
Where's our best strengths? Are we a transition team? I mean, this stage is not
Stuck
a
muna kayo.
but nobody's trying to this or that. I'm sure that percentage will lift. You're just trying to find what you do well as a group early.
So the 36ers win the second quarter as well, 19. At My State Bank Arena, still to come tonight. The Tasmania Jack Jumpers in front of another sold-out
Ginebra
crowd
na si Kai.
to take on the Cairns Tide fans. We'll be back shortly with the second half here on KO Friends.
Half time. Twink. Ayaw nila ipakita si Kai. Tinago nila si Kai. Yari naman ito na NBL sa tao. Boycott na kagad ako. Gusto nila makilala ang player nila eh. Rotation daw, may nagpaliwanag. Rotation daw talaga. Hintayin natin baka palaron. Baka may mapilayan dyan.
We'll rise anything around here.
commentary.
may meeting pala si
Both
kay
games
ano
this
eh,
evening.
kay Jason.
David, what what would you be seeing? Maybe the Wildcats giving us their first to it.
Tries to miss shot. So, yes, you like to see a bit more shots. So, as a coach is saying, as long as we're taking the right shots, trust it. You know, it's just one of those halves. You know, just couldn't get a shot to drop. But I'm looking at ball movement. I'm looking at our structure. Defensively, they can say, look, we only held Adelaide under 40 points, which again, 20 point a quarter. That looks good. So, it's just combinations and trying to get guys to have a little bit of belief in themselves early. Trust the offense. As long as we shoot the ball well, take the right shots, they'll drop. If you see CJ Bruton in Adelaide, you know, we held him under 30 points. This is great to see what we can do again for a second half.
Both teams from the three-point line didn't exactly shoot the lights out. Perth at 25%, 4 of 16. Adelaide 1 of 8, just 12%. Both teams will be looking to improve that number going in the second half. Ball, mid-range 2, battles out.
At least he got him an early touch early. Over Tuesday, but that's okay. As long as it's a focal point to get him involved.
There's Cott. His return from injury to the top of the key. Not that time though for Bryce.
Saw a lot of that Bryce coming down in transition in that early on ball screen. He comes off of it a triple fly.
His hands from Bairstow. Took it away from Travers and McCarron. No look outlet pass for Mahame King.
Makes you total control. Saw that no look coming. How they run the floor is removed.
Turnover for Perth. 36ers playing tonight without Daniel Johnson, who's being rested after playing massive minutes in game 1. Todd Withers, their import from North Carolina, is yet to suit up. Kai SOTTO being rested this evening, was moved by Bairstow. Big news for the NBL announced this morning, and for fans of Kai SOTTO, a multi-year deal being done to broadcast the NBL into the Philippines. Enormous basketball fans. I haven't, no.
We get tight with Kai, maybe.
You can carry his bags around. He's a celebrity in the Philippines. Star makes the second. How do you look to manage a guy like Cam Bairstow, David, who really in the last 3 years has played a small amount of basketball because of injury? This is 2 games in a row he's playing. Would you expect to maybe see him rested in one of the next 2 games, or is he better off just continuing to play?
I'm of the mindset that you got to play yourself into it. I mean, he's really been rested. Okay, I know he's been recovering and recuperating, but that's rest as far as I'm concerned. And as a player, you don't want to sit there and think about it and talk about it and conceptualize it. Put me in. Let me just take my knocks and bumps and see how I'll pull up. And I'm sure he's having conversations with the team doctor and with CJ to let him know how you feeling. Pull up okay? Yeah, fine. So let's keep it going.
7 points tonight. On the back of a really good first performance, 11 rebounds to go with 8 points on Sunday against the Taipans, former Chicago Bull. Here he is off the McCarron pass. From the back of the iron, it's knocked out of play by Humphries.
A few different lineups. Like CJ is sitting over there. We're both coaches. You're trying to work out your best 5, who's going to close your 5. And we're not going to see everybody's best 5 early. You got to get legs, you got to get minutes in everybody. But they're thinking, don't worry, like come game 1, that bench gets cut to 7, 8 players. You'll see who the closing groups are.
Moore, it fell into his hands. And he's on the board. His first points of the game.
Sometimes all it takes is one, just to see one goal in.
Humphreys may have travelled,
Trouble.
definitely travelled the second time.
Like to see
Trouble.
Isaac get into more scores mode when you get down in the block like that, because you're not going to have a lot of time. Just a side note, Isaac Humphreys is just like my youngest daughter's boyfriend. Except he's 10 inches shorter.
I was going to say, shit. How would you go, your daughter's boyfriend, if he's 6'11" like Isaac Humphreys? Does he sing like Isaac Humphreys though?
Nah, he's probably about 4. But he's a
Okay.
But anyway, back to the basketball.
Foul call. Cats. Sunday deck. Free throws to come. Shout out to
Joe Taylor, boxing champ Victoria.
Yeah, really? Boxing champ Victoria.
It's like a Sunday date. Let's talk about Sunday. He plays defense like it's already halfway through. There's no preseason, take it easy, it's going to ease run. He's just an intense defensive player. You see it early. He sets a tone.
Started his career as a Wildcat, won 2 titles with Perth. Ten-point lead for Adelaide. Nicely done from Gatorna to win it back for the 36ers. The offensive foul came from the official on the other side of the court.
See, when the 6-foot guy knocks over the 7-foot guy and the 7-foot guy falls, I'm not going to be quick to give him that charge, even though he's probably right. But I just looked at that last set they ran perfect. Like, you got Rice in the corner coming off a double, which he's got to know they're going to switch that every time. You got Vic Law with the ball. So all the actions everybody's worried about Bryce, this is when Vic's got to be aggressive. He's not in an aggressive mindset right now, so I guess he's just going to take some time to ease into it. I'd like to see him be more aggressive.
Purchase. Catch and shoot 3. No good. Forced the advantage of Sunday Deck. Shot clock winds down. Humphreys spinning on Hodgson, but spun out of control. It's just not happening for Isaac.
Yeah. And you can tell he's frustrated because he did the smart turnover, which he should have been in the corner. Now, man, you had a shot, you didn't take it, got yourself in a little bit of trouble. At least he was more aggressive with that.
Pa-subscribe naman dyan sa nanonood.
Push-ups for the turnover.
Pa-subscribe naman ng channel ko.
And he's sagging off on the ball screen when Bryce comes off, so it's kind of so you don't want to let the frustration of one play affect what you do in the defense, which looks like it's happening.
Plays with a lot of passion, Isaac Humphreys. He's always got something interesting to say. We learned that last season, some of his halftime and pre-game interviews. He never really knew what was coming next.
Here's his hook. You can just see it coming. There's plenty of game left, so you don't want to overreact. Players are competitive. Nobody wants to make any mistakes, and he's not. But if you compound a couple, you get a seat. It's just the way it goes. I've learned this too when you're a bench player and the guy comes off the court, he's frustrated. Don't be the first guy to give him a towel. He's just going to throw it at you. Melvin Thomas. Shout out to Mel Thomas.
Nice pass. McCarron for Gatorna. Nice transition. Offense for the 36ers. White tees one up. Wagstaff with the rebound. Out for Cotton. He knocks it down.
Only a matter of time.
7 points now for Bryce. He's starting to build into this game. Let's get it back. Kyle Zunic. Happy this time to put the ball on the floor. Points are waved away. There could be a case to say that they could have counted, but
No continuation happening in Tassie at the moment. Jack jumper might be a call.
okay. Jumping out of their seats by the time Tassie get up and running. Shortly after the completion of this game, it'll be the Jack Jumpers up against the Cairns Taipans. Sold out crowd at My State Bank Arena. Duffelmeyer back into the game. It's a block on Kevin
Dapat
White.
offensive po yun.
Perfect, but you're gonna get. I got a theory on these fouls. Yeah, you're gonna get 5. You are guaranteed to get 2 bag balls. Guaranteed. You only really got 3 fouls in there. That was one of Kevin's bad calls. He's already got a reputation as a hard on defense. You got to kind of protect yourself. You got to be real. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. You got to be careful with your fouls.
So how do you use the other 3?
I'll wait till late in the game, a little bit later,
Yeah.
so I can get a little bit more feisty off the steals.
Zuni up top. A nice left-handed stroke. That one jumped out.
I'm still good to see that.
We were talking about it on Sunday, weren't we?
It's like God made up for it. Left-handed right there.
Favourite left-handed shooter? International or here? Whoever suits.
Hard to go past Chris Muller.
That's what I was going to say.
Hard to go. You have show my age. Chris Muller's watch it. And saying that, one lefty shot that wasn't in Tyshawn Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what he did.
We came from.
Yeah.
There's always an exception to the rule. Marshall back in. These two teams will play each other to open their NBL 22 season. Friday, December the 3rd. In the jungle.
In the jungle. You don't want to give each other too much ammo. You don't want to say anything ridiculous win this game. You don't want to get bulletable material. But you still want to have a little bit of confidence going in if you can at least beat them.
The Jack Jumpers to open the season against Brisbane on Friday, December the 3rd, and then straight after that, we'll head to the West. Double header on the opening night.
That grab.
That time for Majuk, but he doesn't give up on it. Zunic knocks down a 3, his second.
Good inside out. It was unselfish. Majuk could have put that right back up when he saw a shooter out there on the perimeter. Most often happens after an offensive rebound. He ended up with a free.
It's Dusty Hannah's little floater.
You know he's not the first Dusty to play the NBL.
Dusty Riker.
Ah, nice.
He was a good player.
He was. Grab. Look. Done.
Too big.
You don't have to complicate things. Get the big guy that just runs in the paint and seal. He's not trying to shoot threes. He knows his strengths.
Mojave kick, catch and shoot. He's got 9 points now.
He got caught helping out of that corner. That's when he clapped his hands in disgust.
It's caught pushes Majuk rolled nicely to the basket. It was a little out of control by the end of it. And Hannah's got all the offensive tricks. That's a tough move. He can't finish off, but kicks it back out to Duffelmeyer.
You would say Hannah has breakneck speed, but he just seems to get to where he needs to go.
Yep.
Shifty.
He seems really balanced. Timeout. 2.5 minutes to play. What would you... Again, we've only seen Dusty Hannahs for 13.5 minutes, Damon, but how would you start to draw up a bit of a scouting report on what you've seen so far?
He's a scorer, and he can score from a variety of ways. So you want to try to make it as hard as possible for him to catch the ball. But off the ball, you got to be careful because, I know we want to play some help defense, but guys got to be trusted to play their man one-on-one. I can't be helping off this guy in the corner because he's not going to turn down the shot. You can already tell. And he will also shoot difficult shots. So even if you play good defense, you still might, shoot runners and shoot nice little pull-up games. He's got a lot of weapons. So with a guy like that, you just got to make him work. He seems to play at his own pace. A bit like McCarron. Like, they don't seem too rushed. So what I want to do is try to make him as uncomfortable as possible. Get him right up into him, try to speed him up. See how that goes.
11 points, 4 of 11 from the field. Dusty Hannahs, 4 steals as well. Importantly for him.
Speaking of beef.
Big signing for the Wildcats in the off-season. For the 36ers, I should say. It's Duffelmeyer.
Jamie Perlman tell him, give him a shooting price. Don't shoot like me. Don't shoot like I used to. Just keep, Jamie. Another hard note to figure.
I'll get back to it. 31's better than 21. White. Kevin White thinks. Gives Perth a chance to score out of the timeout. They trail by double figures. It's the biggest lead of the game for the 36ers right now. All posting up.
He was good patience. Vic could have took the first shot. He gave it up, went and posted up, and got himself a nice little one turnaround jump.
Katona trying to bank it home.
Pahingi naman dyan ng subscribes.
Travis cross court for a wide open Jesse Wagstaff.
Wow, that's good ball. I don't know if the game plan is to double people off the ball screen, but they did it, and everybody made the right pass and got him wide open too.
Since the timeout, whatever Scott Morrison had to say for the Wildcats has worked. Duffelmeyer late in the clock. Jacks one up. Wagstaff and Travis try to combine, but Duffelmeyer was there. The 36ers run the floor.
Hey,
Marshall out of control.
I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if we're going to get the replay. Tad might be sneaking and pushing to get away. The guy gives it up and cuts. They're both running to the basket. A sneaky forearm. They help him along. Because you can see Luke look around like, did you see that? That's a whole thing.
Perth Wildcats, we're talking before about their opening game of the season, Damon. It's got the potential for Perth to be 5-0 to start with. Not that we're disrespecting their opposition, but they've got their first 5 games at RAC Arena. They don't travel until Tuesday, December the 28th. Then they'll be on the road for an extended period of time. But home game home games against Adelaide, Cairns, 2 against Brisbane and Tasmania. It's got the potential to start really well for them.
And that could be like a double-edged sword. If you're at home and you're comfortable, but based on just this, which you can't read too much into it, but you can also be under a lot of pressure. If you've got the first 5 at home, you come out of that, stay 2 and 3. Now you're on the road, so Perth, who I think are a little bit underdone, travel and everything that's happening with them, they want to hurry up and get a fitness level. Back in the glory days, you got like Damian Martin, Sean Redditch, and all those guys, Brad Robbins. That was a hard defensive. But I think they're going to need to be able to be that kind of defensive team, especially when you're starting off 5 in a row at home. But you don't want to finish that 2 and 3.
A lot of uncertainty about what's coming up next with borders and all of that sort of stuff, obviously. But we expect that Perth, for a period of time, are going to be away from home. Jack Purchase. 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting for him.
Purchase looks like Gummy Burns from the side. It's been on 6'11", so
Apparently that's it now. That's about
easy ones. Get your confidence up. Not things not going your way, you got to get those easy ones. Offensive rebound, you're still an athlete. 2 feet away from the basket, you're going to finish.
Brisbane Bullet. Average 18 and 8 before his injury. There was a lot of discussion at that stage of, in the first third of the season, whether he'd be a potential All-NBL first team the way he was playing.
18 and 8 doesn't go away. You don't just forget how to be that guy. So he's got to be patient.
Points. Perth are saying that they're not going to count.
Obviously, he stepped on the sideline.
I'm thinking he didn't get it away in time. Yeah. Points won't count. 54 to 38 with 1 quarter remaining. May in fact be 51 because that bucket doesn't count.
Perth's first 20-point quarter. The Adelaide is still thinking Perth didn't get that quarter. So overall, this is an improvement. See if you can just back it up for 1 more quarter.
Seeing some of the highlights from the 3rd quarter. That man there is a big positive for Perth. Majuk to have him back, and he's looked really comfortable tonight.
Yep, meat and potatoes with no disrespect, but he's efficient down there. He's gonna, if you don't send a double, he's getting that shot off every single time. Too strong. Plays, uses his body well. Great position.
For the Wildcats, Jesse Wagstaff has 11 points. He's the leading scorer. Some of the leading rebounders on the court. And Hodgson 7. His first game as a Wildcat. Big Ball 5. 36ers, Dusty Hannah's their leading scorer with 11. Mohamed King has 9. Cam Bairstow has 8, as does Tad Duffelmeyer.
Interesting to see how Scott's playing. You know how in the NBA, some guys, they play a whole quarter, sit half the second, finish the quarter. He came in halfway through that 3rd, now he's starting the 4th. So what if Scott brings some of the NBA style rotations?
Yeah. He's played 18 minutes, Big Ball. Bryce Cotton's played under 20. All players who have suited up tonight, though, 20 of them, have played at some point during this game. Hannes. Trying to get busy on Kyle Zernick. Blocked by Hodgson with the help D.
8-footer sitting in the key, just waiting for penetration. There's no defense in 3 seconds, so a guy like that's going to be camping out. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be hard to get that shot off.
Wildcats can tie it up on this possession. Now Moore extends over the top of Hannes, makes it a 1-point game.
That's clearly the mismatch. That is, he can get that shot off whenever he wants, so now Adelaide got a decision to make. Send a double, or do you trust Hannah one-on-one?
Sunday Deck has a fumble. Opening minute of this last quarter. A ball for 3.
Grab. Double. Extra pass. Triple.
Clark couldn't make it count. Offensive rebound, Hodgson. Again, they play through Vic Law. With Cotton off the court, this might be a sign of things to come.
I'm not saying they can't make that three, but you want to take the shot that you know is going to create havoc. And him not on the block like he did before, they had to come sit the double. They ended up getting them wide open for the opposed happen. You know, sometimes you got to just pick your spots.
This pass cross court, Hodgson for Kyle Zernick. Not that time.
Dodge the bullet. Split line, so number 16. But BBL giving up corner threes.
You can see the frustration on the face of Isaac Humphries. He's 2 of 7. And they've all been pretty good looks as well.
He's frustrated. There's those over there stretching.
Isaac would have seen that.
This could be his hook.
McCarron in transition. Beautiful stroke.
He's flying under the radar. He's cruising around. Forget about him. There goes 3.
His first points. Sixers still lead this one by 4. They've led the entirety of this match. Clark has Moore cutting to the basket. Off the glass.
Ain't rocket science. Anywhere in that distance, I think is
Jack Jumpers warming up as we speak, as are the Cairns Taipans. They'll play in about half an hour from now. Over the second of our Tuesday night doubleheader. Both teams coming off a loss in their first game. Looking to join the winners list. That's
got caught putting the shoulder down. Who I've been impressed with? He's got number 32, Clark. Yeah, look at the stats. You know, he hasn't done anything. But he hasn't done anything wrong. He's running the team. He doesn't need to take any shots. He knows he got guys. He's distributing the ball. He's controlling the tempo. Very respectful guard like that who doesn't need to feel the stats to look like he's doing something.
good opportunity for him to get some minutes.
Really care about him.
Got a host of injuries at the moment, the Wildcats.
Say, not turn the ball over. We'll come out with this win.
one stage, the lead was 11. As Perth do, they haven't given up on it. They've just slowed the game. Damon, you like the look of him? The number one man in Perth, Lockie Reed, is watching on as we speak. He said that he's been a train-on player with Perth for the last couple of years and is building and building. A Scotch boy. He looks basketball's winning. Travis has had his chances from out there tonight. McCarron kept his feet when Wagstaff did it. Hands by Law.
10 games pala, ay 10 per games pala sila.
Silver games.
I'm sitting here thinking if I was a
minutes.
player, most
Yeah.
asleep, just kind of wandering around. Next thing you know, he's in the paint.